Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about why everyone should own a 1911. Before we get started, watch the video to the end. And after the video, we're going to announce the winner of the Sneaky Pete holster. So, what makes the 1911 so special? 1911's been around for a long time, over 100 years. There's a reason it's so popular. One of the main reasons is because 1911 is a platform. So 1911 is a 1911. Whether you have a 1911 from one manufacturer or the other, they're exactly the same, and most of the parts are interchangeable, such as the trigger, the hammer, the slide stop, grips, etc. So that's another great plus right there. Let's get into some of the reasons why you should own one. We'll start with the trigger. And all these firearms are unloaded. 1911 has got the best trigger in the pistol world. The reason for that is because of the simplicity. This trigger is designed to go straight back and forward. There's no slop. There's no wiggle room. There's virtually no take-up. You pull the trigger, it's got a very fast reset for follow-up shots. Now we'll start with the frame. Cold hard steel, baby. I know a lot of people like the polymer frames, but the steel frame is very durable, meant to last a long time. And because it's so heavy, you don't get the muzzle flip on it. The 1911s come in 3 different sizes. This is a full-size government model with a 5-inch barrel. Next drop down is the Commander with a 4¼ inch barrel. And then they have the officer version with a 3½ inch barrel. It's also very thin. And actually, because of that, it makes it conceal very well. Now, it's not the size of the barrel that makes it hard to conceal. It's the width and the grip. Now, this is also unloaded. This is a Glock 30 45 ACP. If you put it next to the 1911, you can see the 1911 is much thinner. It actually conceals better than the Glock. And while we're on the subject of concealability, however, the 5-inch government model is really pushing the limits for concealability. I carry this outside the waistband. If you were to carry this inside the waistband, especially with a Kydex holster, really isn't that comfortable. So if you want to conceal it or carry inside the waistband, I would go with the Commander version. Next thing about the frame are the finishes. 1911 has many different finishes. You can get blued, you can get black parkerized, you can get stainless, you can get nickel, you can get a combination of both of them. Accuracy. The reason 1911 is so accurate is because of that simple trigger, and because of the heavy frame, you don't get that muzzle flip. You can easily shoot this 1911 with one hand, and it's very controllable. Customization and aftermarket parts. Grips alone, there are tons of grips, whether they're wood or rubber or aluminum or ivory, that you can buy for your 1911, and they'll fit on all of them. And again, the trigger, the hammer, the slide stop, all of those parts can be customized from one 1911 to another. Caliber. That may be an important reason. Typically, the 1911 is most famous for the 45 ACP, but they do come in other calibers. They're available in 38 Super, which is hard to find and very expensive, but they're also available in 9mm and 10mm. I love 1911s, and 10mm is my favorite cartridge, so when Springfield came out with the Ronin 1911 10mm, I just had to have this. Ergonomics. The grip angle on the 1911 is just fantastic, and it's very comfortable in the hand and extremely easy to shoot because it's that comfortable and fits the hand perfectly. And like I said, because 1911 is a 1911, there's no learning curve. If you go from a Rock Island to a Colt to a Springfield, they're all got exactly the same grip. They feel exactly the same way. They fire and function identically. Next, we're going to go with safeties. Some people just feel comfortable having a safety, as opposed to the Glock that doesn't have a physical safety on it. 1911s have two. They have a safety on the back strap. You must have your hand firmly pressed for that to go off. And it's got a thumb safety on the side. Matter of fact, you can't even engage the safety on a 1911 unless the hammer is pulled back. Now, I personally don't like safeties. I never use them. I believe that safeties actually are counterproductive for two reasons. Number one, you tend to get kind of lazy and sloppy with your trigger discipline because in your mind, you have a safety on your gun. If you just keep your finger off the trigger, you don't have to worry about that. The second reason is you have the safety on and you're out in a defensive situation, you forget the safety's on, and you only have 1 second. You go to pull a trigger and it doesn't go off because of the safety. That could be a problem. Versatility. 1911 is probably one of the most versatile pistols that there are. Reason for that is they make a great home defense gun. They make a great gun to conceal carry. They're a good gun for hunting. And they're a good gun for shooting at the range. Next reason may be history. 1911's been around for over 100 years. Won 2 world wars. You may just want to own a piece of history. That's a good enough reason to get one. And then the cost. The nice thing about the 1911s is that the price range varies so much. You can get a $450 1911 or $1,000 or a $1,200 1911, but they all fit your hand exactly the same. All the features and functionalities are the same. You can get a Rock Island or an ATI 1911 in the $400 price range as opposed to the Colt that's in the $1,200 price range, and you can go even higher. But the nice thing about it is that there's a 1911 that'll fit everyone's budget. So if you've been on the fence about buying a 1911 or never thought about one before, maybe I gave you some reasons to help change your mind. Now, the winner of the Sneaky Pete holster is Peter L. Thank you, Peter. Congratulations. Thanks for your support. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.